This chapter of my life is about putting me first. And I used to feel bad and guilty about that because I thought I was supposed to put everyone else's needs before my own. But I don't do that anymore. I'm 33 and I look at this as chapter 3, decade 3, and it's all about Jasmine and what makes Jasmine feel good. And I don't care what anyone has to say. You can call me selfish, you can call me arrogant, you can call me what you want, but I am all about me right now and doing what makes me happy, doing what makes me feel good, prioritizing my health, prioritizing my overall well-being, prioritizing my mental health, and just focusing on being the best version of myself. We may not have the same responsibilities, but we do all have the same 24 hours. And one thing I encourage you to do is look at how you spend your 24 hours. After you take care of your responsibilities, maybe you're a mother or a father, maybe you go to work, maybe you take care of your parents, whatever it is, what do you do with the rest of your time? And if it's anything like what I used to do, it wasn't much of anything. I spent a lot of time on social media just mindlessly scrolling, looking at other people's lives and comparing it to my own. And by doing that, it made me feel inadequate. It made me feel like I was lacking something. It made me feel like I wasn't living an exciting life. I would spend a lot of time looking at celebrity gossip. What celebrity said this? What celebrity doesn't like this person? And I spent a lot of time binge watching Netflix movies and TV shows, sitting on the couch and just letting life pass me by, if that makes sense. And yeah, that felt good in the time. It was a great distraction. It never lasted because once the movie was over or once I got bored on social, now I kind of was just like, what's next? And I didn't like living like that, you know? And once you figure out where you're spending your free time and what you're doing with it, then you can determine, okay, instead of spending my free time doing XYZ, how could I improve my life if I spend my free time doing this instead? And once you figure that out, now you have a plan of action. Let's start with weight loss. Maybe you've been struggling to lose weight for a really long time. Maybe you're yo-yo dieting like what I used to do all the time. You would do well for a few weeks, lose a few pounds, and then revert back to your old ways, gain those pounds back, and then some. Okay. Figure out why you're overeating in the first place. Because believe it or not, we all have a reason. There's something going on with us mentally that's causing us to overeat. Maybe you're bored. You don't have a purpose right now. You don't know what you want to do with your life. Maybe you're sad about something, depressed, living in the past, dealing with traumas that you haven't yet healed from. Maybe you're anxious. You're freaking out about what could happen, looking at the future too hard, and thinking about all of the bad things that might happen, but haven't necessarily happened yet. But whatever it is, you have to figure out why you're overeating. For me, I was overeating a lot because I was bored. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I just knew I didn't want to work where I was working. I was definitely suffering from anxiety. I was afraid that they were going to fire me. I literally walked into work every day just fearful that they were going to fire me or write me up for something. And I also felt trapped. I just felt like there was no way out of my situation. And so I used food to kind of cover it up. And once I started realizing why I was overeating in the first place, I was able to figure out ways to control it. So when I found myself bored and ready to eat something that I shouldn't eat, I would fill that space with an activity. Maybe read a book, Google some information about something that I want to learn how to do, go on a walk, just something to stop feeling bored. Because I wasn't really hungry, I was just bored. So I would fill the boredom with something to do. When it came to prioritizing when to exercise, I tried a whole bunch of different times. I tried doing it in the morning. I tried doing it in the early afternoon. I tried evenings, and I even tried overnight. And each different time slot had its benefits. But for me, I noticed that I'm most likely to do it every single day in the morning when I'm fresh, when I'm the most energized, when nothing's on my mind yet. I notice that I'm less likely to come up with excuses as to why I should not work out. And for you, that may be different. maybe you're not a morning person, and that's totally fine. I am. I've been a morning person for as long as I can remember. That's just me. Maybe for you, it's better for you to work out during your lunch break. Maybe you get an hour and the gym is right around the corner and you can eat your lunch on the way to the gym real quick, work out for a good 45 minutes, and then clock back into work. Maybe you prefer to work out in the evening after work. That's fine. It's what's going to make you the most consistent, because one thing I had to learn is if you're not consistent, and that's not just with weight loss, that's literally with anything in life. If you're not consistent, you're not going to get the results that you really want. And a lot of times we think we're being consistent. A lot of times we think that, well, I did this on Monday, so as long as I do it one more time out the week, that's being consistent and I'll get my results. But that's not true. For most things, you have to do it every day. And I learned this too with being a content creator. I learned that I can't just post once every 2 weeks and think that my platforms are going to grow. I have to post every day, and I show up and I post every day. And if you guys been subscribed for a while, you know that to be true. The same applies with weight loss and trying to lose weight. Maybe every day doesn't have to be a strenuous workout. I don't think it should be. But you can be active every day to some degree. Maybe you do something intense on Monday, and Tuesday you go for a walk. Wednesday maybe you stretch. Thursday you do something intense. Friday you go for a walk. Saturday you stretch. So on and so forth. But you still were active every single day. I hope that makes sense. When it comes to making healthier food choices, this is a lot of trial and error, by the way. I learned for me, I am more likely to eat healthy when I have healthy food in the house. And it's not always food that I have to literally cook from scratch. That's been working for me. One other thing that I learned about myself is I can't not eat junk food that I know is in the house. Does that make sense? Like if I know there's a bag of chips in the house, I have to eat it. So in order to avoid that, I just don't have the chips in the house. I've never been someone, and still to this day, who can save crappy food for later. That does not exist in my world. I can't have a pint of Ben and Jerry's ice cream and only eat 1/4 of it and then put the rest in the freezer for next week. What? It's like a challenge for me. Like, I have to eat this entire pint. So in order to get around that, I just don't keep the ice cream in the house. And maybe you know how to save stuff for later. That's great. I have yet to figure that out. But it's about learning you and learning what's going to keep you on track. And so that's what I came up with for me. I do my best to meal prep so that when I am hungry, all I have to do is just heat the food up or just saute some veggies real quick. And most of the time that works. But one thing I have been struggling with recently is just knowing what I'm in the mood for, because sometimes I don't really know. Like, it's hard for me to meal prep on a Saturday when I don't really know what I want to eat for the next few days. So I've been struggling there, but I'm sure that once I find some new fun recipes, I'll get back on track. The curried chickpeas that you guys seen me make yesterday were delicious. It was delicious. So I will be eating that for the next few days. But sometimes it's about finding new recipes to try, because I'm a creature of habit and I can eat the same thing over and over and over again if it tastes good and not get sick of it. But every now and again, I like to try new things because sometimes I get bored of the same old stuff. One thing that I learned to really start prioritizing, not just for the benefits of losing weight and getting in better shape, but just for your overall wellness, is prioritizing sleep. And I used to be really bad at it. I never really had a bedtime. And, some nights I would get 8 hours of sleep, and some nights I would only get 4 to 6 hours of sleep. And I can't keep living like that. I hate being tired throughout the day. And that's what I mean about this era of my life, is about doing what's best for Jasmine, because Jasmine is going to get her sleep. I don't care what's going on. I am going to get my sleep, because I have learned that I am more productive when I am well rested. I feel more motivated. I feel more ambitious. I feel more positive. I feel more energetic. I just feel more everything when I get at least 8 hours of sleep. I used to allow things that were stressing me out keep me from being able to sleep. I would toss and turn in bed, freak out, worry about what's going to happen if this happens. But I don't live like that anymore, and I encourage you not to either. I know it's easier said than done, but you not getting your sleep isn't going to make your problems go away. So why do it to yourself? Your body needs to sleep. So if that means DVRing your favorite reality TV show for the next day so that you can get to bed on time, then that's what you should do. If that means skipping happy hour or leaving early because you need to be in bed by 9 so you can get up 8 hours from then so you can work out, then do that. It's about making sacrifices, because at the end of the day, you want to be the best version of yourself. And with anything, you're going to have to sacrifice. You can't get around it. I need you to make me a promise and make yourself a promise. Stop saying I can't. Some of us say I can't more than I can, and it's getting out of hand. The reason why you can't be successful in your weight loss journey is because you keep reminding yourself that you can't. It has to stop.
Okay, so I was walking back to the back machine, right? And I noticed this on this side, as opposed to when I walked up to it originally, it was like this, so a 45 and a 35. But when I came back from the shoulder fly machine, I saw this. I was like, no wonder the left side it feels more challenging than the right. But it is the same weight. My question is this: who loads their weight like this? Who are you? Someone who doesn't care as long as the math adds up, or are you gonna make sure that the plates are even? I just want to know. I didn't load this because the weight I needed was already loaded. So let me know in the comments, like, what kind of lifter are you? I like the weights to be symmetrical, but that's just me. All right, let's proceed.
You are amazing. You are capable of reaching all of your goals. You deserve to be respected. You deserve healthy love. You deserve to put your needs first. You can lose weight. You can create whatever life you want. You have the power to do all of these things that I'm telling you. I'm not just telling you this for my health. I'm telling you this because it's true. And the more you speak positive affirmations to yourself, the more you will finally start to believe in yourself. You are beautiful. You are strong. The list goes on of your greatness. I tell myself I'm great all day long. And that's what I meant earlier when I said some may call me arrogant. I don't think believing in yourself should be considered arrogant. I think society makes us feel like if we're confident in ourselves and we believe in ourselves, then there should be some type of negative characteristic attached to ourselves. And that's not true. You should believe in yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you don't believe in yourself, what makes you think others will?